Bill Haney and Devin Haney may have made the dumbest mistake in a contract negotiation that I've ever seen. And the lawsuit that they have with Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy, it looks like it's up to one big mistake that they're trying to fix. And I have to say, wow. Why in the world would you do that? Sometimes you need experts to work with you. And sometimes being a jack of all trades and a master of none can really bite back. And it definitely did when Oscar De La Hoya screwed Devin Haney in a major way. But it's Devin's own fault. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be in the 140-pound division where some information came out in the lawsuit between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, and a conversation that Bill Haney put out with the message to Oscar De La Hoya. In doing my research, I stumbled across a very major issue of payment of monies to Devin Haney, and a huge mistake, I believe, on the part of Bill Haney or whoever negotiated the deal that could have very well cost Devin Haney millions and millions and millions of dollars. All because they don't know what words mean. Now, before I get into the details, and trust you me, this is worth listening to, and it's something that you should pay attention to in your own life. But before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank y'all so much for hitting the subscribe button and supporting the channel and hitting the like button and supporting the super thanks and the super chats. It is how we're able to do this channel. But yeah, I'm going to flame a little bit on this one because this is a personal thing for me. Not personal because it's related to Bill, even though I'm not a big fan of Bill and Bill's not a big fan of mine. It is because I've talked to you guys a lot often about business and about contracts because it comes up a lot in the conversations about boxing. And I always tell you, there's a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, that love to act like they know what they're doing. And there's, in that scenario, it's only a matter of time before something goes boom. So it went boom. Bill Haney said in his clip that he put out, a message to Oscar De La Hoya, that he was going to still sue Oscar De La Hoya. And he mentioned that, hey, Gennady Golovkin sued you. I'm suing you. So I went to go look at Gennady Golovkin and to figure out exactly why it was that Gennady Golovkin had sued Oscar De La Hoya. And the facts were that after the second fight, Gennady Golovkin did sue Oscar De La Hoya. And he sued Oscar De La Hoya for interest accruing on the money that he was due. Gennady Golovkin was due. What money was he due? He was due 45% of gross revenue for the fight. What was Devin Haney's terms with Golden Boy? 47% of net profit. If Bill Haney did not make any money in this particular fight or didn't make the money that he thought he was going to make, and thought he was taken advantage of and wanted to know where the money was? The money is in that sentence. The money is gone because of that sentence, because of that word, gross revenue versus net profit. That's where your money went. That's why you're not getting paid. Because Bill agreed with Oscar to get paid out of profit. Let me explain this as simply as I can. You should never agree to be paid based on something you do not have control over. The difference between being paid off revenue and being paid off profit is huge. Because when you're paid off revenue, you don't care what their expenses are. You don't care what the other person's, whether they made money, lost money. All you care about is the fact that they brought in the money. And that makes sense for a boxer to get paid out of gross revenue because, hey, they're not actually managing the event. They're not the ones deciding what money they're going to pay for this expense and that expense, and they don't have the time to go through it. I know that I expressed the same thought process, the same conversation to Devin Haney fans in other contract situations, and they didn't get it then. Do not go writing contracts if you don't know what the words mean that you're writing down or that you're asking for. By illustration, the difference between getting paid 45% of gross revenue versus 45% of net profit on a $100 million fight that loses money. Let's say Turkey Al-Sheikh offers you that deal. I'm going to give you 45% of gross revenue. With Turkey Al-Sheikh, if the fight generates $20 million worth of revenue, you're going to get 45% of the 20,000. Let's move it up to 100, make it easy. If you go up to 100,000, if it's a $100 million fight, then your 45% is 45 million with Turkey Al-Sheikh. But think for a second. What happens if Turkey Al-Sheikh, like he has been, loses money in the event and you're paid off of revenue? You still get your money, right? Because it's revenue. But what happens if Turkey Al-Sheikh decides to have Eminem at the concert and Eminem sucks up all the budget and he decides to put on, spend $300,000 in a promotional video that's like dang near, motion picture quality? That's going to cost a couple $100,000. That's coming out of cost. That's in cost, which means it's decreasing your profit. So that's a huge deal in that situation. So Bill, who allowed himself and his son to be paid out of net profit, is now looking to freeze funds and collect funds because he wants to know where every penny that was spent. Bill, if you wouldn't have went off profit, if you would have went off revenue, you wouldn't have to worry about the receipts. I'm telling you, man, there's so many people, man, that think that, that other people's skill sets don't have value. You better go hire somebody to write that for you. Somebody to obviously tell you what business terms mean, like net profit and gross revenue. That's huge. It's huge. You would much rather have a smaller percentage. There's a good possibility that you will make significantly more money with off gross revenue than you would off net profit. But more importantly, you don't have any control over the expenses. So why would you allow yourself to be measured by that? Anyway, this is incompetence. Just to let you know, if Bill is saying he didn't make any money, that's where he got beat. He got beat by getting paid in net profit. And that is to most people that deal with agreements, I promise you, man, you can hand most people that. Most contracts, let's say this book is a contract. What do? They look at it. They say, oh, okay. Oh, 45%. Cool. Oh, I get 45%. Cool. 45% of the profits. Yeah. No, I want 45% of the revenue. not 45% of the profit. You can figure out what you're going to do with your cost to get your profit where it needs to be. Because I'm not, if I'm getting it paid off profit, I need to know everything you're doing so I can have control and I can ensure I make some money. Right? Anyway, don't go suing Ryan for battery. You sued Ryan for battery, but on the real, you need to sue your daddy for incompetence. That's my opinion, that is. Right? Just my opinion. This is incompetence. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.